Thank you so much for joining us today and to share about your expertise and knowledge about mindset and mindfulness. Just gonna start very quickly with a short introduction. So my name is Carol. I am the founder of Parentally. Parentally is a platform dedicated to the well-being of new and future parents, and we are on a mission to help every pregnant and expectant a new parent find all the extra care and support they may need during pregnancy, birth, postpartum, and their first years of parenthood, be it information, community support, or also professional support. And today we're going to talk about mindset and mindfulness. And we have invited our guest, Katia Khomich.
It's good. It's actually good.
How is the pronunciation? It's okay. Good. Who is certified mindset coach in pregnancy and in motherhood, and to talk about this important topic. I'm very excited to talk about this. I'm also having a kind of down day. Maybe it's the weather, most probably, but I'm very excited to talk about this with you today and see how it can help pregnant mothers and new mothers on their journey. So the floor is yours. Would you like, Katia, maybe to start with an introduction to tell us who you are, what is your background,
so you're right.
and
My name is Katia, so
what you do?
100% there. Katia Khomich. And yes, right now I define myself, or when I have to introduce myself, I do kind of zooming in onto this title of mindfulness and mindset coach. So I work with mothers to be, or current parents, and help them find a bit more of that balance in amidst of all the imperfection, mess that may happen during pregnancy or towards motherhood. I also huge believer that certain mindset tools, mindfulness tools, can help to prepare for birth, giving birth, and some of the tools help also really support first-time mother, or any mother, honestly, during this first year of becoming a parent, after she becomes a parent. I am passionate about it, and just like you said, your mission is to to create support group for parents and mothers. My mission is to inspire about 10,000 women to learn mindfulness and mindset tools, so that they feel empowered as they approach birth, as they approach motherhood.
Amazing.
And it's possible. So one of the things that I always say whenever I work one-on-one, or when I facilitate a group, is that when you go to the gym and you want to get stronger, and the trainer or the coach tells you, fine, let's do this set of exercises, and with time you'll have a stronger core, you'll have stronger legs, and you'll be able to function in the world out there in a much more efficient way. You can go for a hike, you can actually carry your baby and a bag and a backpack and and a stroller, and you'll feel fine without having a back ache. And we go to this gym for all these goals, and we are prepared to work. We're prepared most of the time to be patient, and then at some point we see results, when all of a sudden we don't lose our breath when we go up the stairs. So I always say that when we work on our mindset, it's exactly like that. This is a skill. It's a skill set. And what I love about this topic right now is that thankfully we have so much more research coming up that now shows that it's not, there's just some esoteric thing that let's sit in stillness, let's meditate, let's do some breath work, and then maybe some universal energy will come to us and we'll feel stronger. No, it's as simple as you do certain exercises multiple times, and with the time, the skill of the mind will get stronger. And at some point, when you are on the street and you feel like you're late for the work, or your manager just called you but you couldn't pick up the phone, or your toddler is having a little bit of that tantrum, and you realize that you respond to this situation in a different way, differently than you would normally respond half a year ago. But it takes time, it takes practice, and it takes a little bit of self-compassion that it may be not sometimes easy, sometimes you feel a little bit lazy, sometimes you don't want to do things, but with time you do get stronger. So it's kind of a summary of where I am at this moment. Let's, I know that you have tons of questions, so I want us to be more targeted.
Plenty, plenty of questions, and I cannot wait to dive into what types of exercises actually this is about. But to be honest, for me, mindset and mindfulness were kind of blurry concepts. So I would love to understand more what it is that we are talking about, and
again, I will keep having this
how does it
analogy
work,
with
basically?
the sport, with the gym. You go in and you look at the schedule, at the timetable, and there's a bunch of different things, right? Oh, there's a cycling class, and there's a yoga class, and then there is a boxing class, or just weights, strength resistance training. So similarly to this, when we work on the mindset, when we have this intention as we approach birth, to prepare for giving birth, prepare for becoming a parent, it's like you have this intention, okay, I ideally want to be more patient. I want to be more present, because I think most of us, 9 out of 10 people, already know that presence in general is good for our well-being. You know, it helps not to worry about things that are in future or in past, like some of them are just useless to worry about. So being present, being patient, being compassionate, what else? Being stress resilient, being emotionally intelligent, all of these things pile up as intention. Let's say I want to achieve being this. And so you start to work out. And so by working out, I mean, have exercises. And what's interesting here is that mindfulness or meditation, they often come together. It's like, okay, let's do mindfulness meditation, and sometimes maybe very confusing. Like, okay, what do I do? Do I do meditation, or do I do mindfulness meditation, or do I do, So let's make it very simple. Mindfulness is the state of mind. It's basically, it can also be equivalent to being present, being aware of what's happening around me.
Okay.
Meditation is an exercise to achieve this state of mind when you need it, and strengthen this ability with time, just like you would strengthen the muscle. And there are different exercises that you can achieve this. So sometimes you would really strengthen your ability to just be present, or sometimes it's your ability to pay attention to the present moment. Sometimes it's your ability to be kind to yourself in the present moment, or sometimes it's your ability to calm down in the present moment, or what else is out there, or actually focus. One of the ways is to really be focused on a certain thing, on a certain point in front of you. It can also be your ability to notice and be with your emotions, or with your thoughts, and how do you relate and navigate your thoughts or emotions as you move through the day or through the moment. So to wrap it up, different modalities. So you can train, just like you can go to the cycling class, you can go to the gym class in general, you can go to the boxing class. Similarly, you can train your ability to be aware of your emotions and navigate them. You can train your ability to be more aware of your thoughts and see which ones are useful or useless, which ones you can let go of, or which ones you actually want to dive deeper a little bit and understand what's underlying reason for keep thinking this thought. And it's a one of the topics that maybe we can go deeper on. Especially in the context of pregnancy, we're often told, like, yeah, just let it go, just trust your body, and some thoughts you just worry, it's just fine, don't worry, it's going to be okay. So having this discernment, this wisdom to sometimes pay attention to things that come up repeatedly, attune to them. Mindfulness of the body, it's another almost like a little exercise in itself, where you learn to feel the body inside out as it changes, as it becomes a little bit bigger, and see what thoughts come up with it as you become a little bit bigger, or and achy. And is there a feeling of sadness that I cannot fit into my jeans anymore, I'm getting really bigger? Or is there excitement because finally I am showing, and my belly is finally showing, and finally I can share the news, and that joy that you can become really aware of. I just want to say that mindfulness And mindset is becoming a very trendy word. And it's like, yeah, mindfulness for leadership, mindfulness for pregnancy, mindfulness for, and it apps come out, and it feels like, well, it's something that you can just sit, meditate, and things will come. And so I could see someone who is like, okay, I'm just going to come and meditate using this app, and I will achieve all those benefits that the article in the magazine shared with me, told me. But it's so much more multi-layeral. There's so much more little angles, so little things that you can customize for yourself. If you're someone who's really prone to anxiety, your practice should be different from someone who is in general, calm and grounded and just wants to cultivate more of that wisdom and ability to make an empowered choice. If you're someone who is impatient and restless, your practice will be much more different. Maybe I won't ask you to actually sit down for your formal exercise of meditation. I will invite you to do a walking meditation, a movement meditation, when you're walking in a park or when you're just in your room. So it's really beautiful to see how it's like, yeah, it's multidimensional and it depends on the person first. But the goal is the same for most of us. The wisdom that comes with awareness. And I think all of us would like to be a little bit wiser when we make choices about birth, about motherhood. How do we choose how to respond to a situation when all the cultural buzz and noise around us tells us what we should do, what we shouldn't do, how to see your own response to that and make the decision in a much more informed way that's rooted in your own wisdom and values as a mother. Again, I feel like I'm all over the place, and I just feel that there's so many things that I could focus on, but at the same time I want to just show that it's not just let me use the app, pregnancy app, let me sit down and meditate. Ideally you want to join at least 3 to 4 weeks or just one session with someone who will ask you a few questions and will guide your practice in a more tailored way to you.
I understand. It's fascinating, and I understand that there are so different facets to it. And my next question is: do you think it's something that can be for everyone, or because just going to take my own example, but for me it's really hard to just sit and be in my mind, So if you if you tell me we're going to do this exercise, we're going to do this meditation, I'm struggling. But I find it very interesting. And yeah, my question is this something for everyone? Can you, with practice, get there?
It can be complicated for some people.
It can be complicated for some people.
For example, I wouldn't say that it can be useful for someone who starts feeling increasing sense of anxiety when a person closing the eyes and wants to meditate. For some people, just sensing the heartbeat and the breath can be triggering, and they feel, no, I don't like it. My breath actually starts speeding up. I feel a little bit of that anxiety rising up. For some people who are prone to panic attacks or have a history of panic attacks, inviting them to just close your eyes and feel your breath, it's not wise. And that's why we want to make sure that your facilitator, your coach, has broad understanding of what's going to be good for you. Most likely in the case when a person has a history of panic attack, has a history of increased anxiety, I will not invite you to just sit still, at least at the beginning. I'll invite you to actually move first. Walking meditation is as effective as an exercise as sitting meditation. Doing your dishes, something you do regularly every day, doing your dishes can be as useful as the space and time where you just present with what you're doing and you do not allow your mind to wander for too long. Let me share you just one more thing, which is the most controversial, or not controversial, but the most misunderstood thing about this exercise of meditation. We all very often misunderstand it in a way that, well, I have to sit down and I have to stop thinking so that my mind calms down and then I feel good. So 2 wrong things. First one is that I have to stop thinking, or at least I have to make sure that my mind calms down, meaning that there's not really many thoughts, because thoughts are annoying and some of them are so sticky about whether my labor will go well, whether I should have a doula or not, whether my midwife will be the one I actually enjoy seeing every appointment I have at the midwife center, and all those questions about the future. So the thoughts can get really annoying, and so you want to meditate so that you're free from them. And then the second piece that is misunderstood, that you want to meditate so that in the end, by default, you feel good. Like, okay, I did it and I feel better. So none of these things in essence are true. This would be more like a byproduct of your practice, but you shouldn't aim at them when when I make to inspire you, when I manage to inspire you to take this practice as one of the tools in your toolkit. So first thing you want to aim is when you realize that you're thinking, let's say, okay, you're washing your dishes. We're not even talking about the formal sitting meditation. You're washing your dishes and you realize that, oh, I actually think again about that thing that may happen, which I don't want to happen. That moment of your realization is the beautiful aha moment when you have choice. And this choice is so empowering and so powerful in so many ways in your daily life, because in this moment you can choose whether you want to keep thinking that, and sometimes it is useful for a context, for when you're writing your birth plan, when you're reflecting in general, reflecting about certain things that may happen, should happen, how do you respond to certain situations. But sometimes it's not useful, and then you have the choice to bring your attention back to what's useful in this moment. And that moment of, I notice that I'm lost in my thought while I'm doing my dishes. This thought have nothing to do with me doing my dishes and attuning to this moment, maybe having a side vision of my baby playing if I'm already a mom or mom of my first child is playing. So bringing your attention back to this present moment is already the point of the practice. How many times can you bring your attention back? 5, 10, 20? The more, the better. Every time you bring your attention back, it's like your bicep crawl of the exercise. Okay, I do it more and more and more, and every time it gets easier. Amazing. And the best value of it comes in labor, for example, when you're in the moment of being, it's your contraction, they go, they wave, everything is good, you're in present moment. But then something happens, and it's like, you get distracted. The midwife is here, she like maybe whispers something to your partner, you're like, what is it? And then the mind becomes, what is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? And you just like, nothing happened technically. Someone just whispered something, but sometimes it's just an example. You may get into that spiraling of what if something is wrong? Her face, she looks concerned. And what should I do? And so that's where that skill that hopefully already developed, strengthened, you can notice that, okay, this thought has nothing to do with me just going through my contractions, and you can bring your attention back, preventing a potential release of stress response, which may slow down the labor. It's like you more likely to stay in your bubble if all of a sudden the world around you has some unpredictable, uncertain things that are happening. Let's say when you move from home to the birthing center, right? You have to move. You have to see someone. You're in a car. So that practice will really protect you to stay in that bubble. Means that your labor will not slow down. Means that you will continue dilate. Means that you will continue moving towards birth, right? And how many times we can hear that, labor slowed down after the transportation, and then we had to maybe do oxytocin, and maybe we had to do this and that, and some manipulation which could be unnecessary if you just have that strength of your mind, stay present when unnecessary thoughts may intervene. And the second piece of like trying to get relaxed, I want to meditate so that I'm calmer. It is a byproduct, and most likely you will feel calmer just by nature. It works this way. You're feeling your breath, you're feeling your body, you feel calmer. But I think and not only I think, but what's most, all the teachers reiterate over and over again is that being able to also sit or be fine with uncomfort, with a sense of a little bit agitated, with feeling a little bit of emotional turbulence, which has nothing to do with being calm, is also a valuable skill. So sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you're washing your dishes, you're all angry and pumped up, and you're like, I'm like frustrated with your husband. And when you feel, and you're aware of that, so this is your practice. Okay, I'm like, I feel this in my body, and my breath is here, and this is what I would tell them. But and it's, you finish your dishes, you aware of your state of mind, of emotional experience in this moment. Yeah, now you can make a choice. What would be the wisest choice to make to respond to the
Mm-hmm.
situation? Maybe talk to your husband, or maybe just let it go. And it's like the choice is much more aware and informed rather than just responsive on a autopilot level.
I see. I see. Thank you so much for sharing this. I love it. I think it's great that you could share this very concrete example of labor because it really shows how it would work. And I would be maybe let's dive to the concrete part of how does it work exactly. What are, let's say, for a parent, a new parent, or someone who is expecting, what would be the practice, the exercises, or the techniques that you would recommend
Yeah,
to
yeah.
use for someone
So
who is just
let's make a
starting
very
with
concrete example. I just
mindset and
had an intake
mindfulness?
with the future mama to be, and we had a talk,
Yeah.
right? And she's only 20 weeks pregnant, and we were like, well,
Mm-hmm.
should we start working now, or should we maybe move further towards the third trimester? Like, what is useful right now? And so asking her questions, it became clear to me that she's calm. She enjoys her pregnancy. The pregnancy is going well. There's never been a history of
Mm-hmm.
miscarriage. So yeah, we decided that we will start working together towards the end of her pregnancy, third trimester, when some of the thoughts will appear about the labor, and she'll become more contextually prepared about
Okay.
preparing towards the labor. She will be in the context. Right now, it will be, there's no real substance to
Mm-hmm.
work with. And in the third trimester, what we will do, again, we will have a conversation. Something will come up. Like, say, for example, she'll say, yeah, I keep thinking about this
Mm-hmm.
pain. What if it's painful? What if I cannot do this? And so then we will have one session with her where we'll talk about pain, and we will have a tool around how to mindfully navigate pain. For example, one of the very classical examples of pain, mindful response to pain and discomfort, is learning to, or at least learning, I guess it would be the right word, to training this ability to do two things. One is going into the pain, not labeling it. I feel pain. I don't like it. I want it to go away. But feeling the sensations in the body
Mm-hmm.
without labeling that it's pain or anything else, and seeing the constellations of sensations around it. And it's very useful
Mm-hmm.
for the early labor, extremely useful. It's like, okay, there's this wave. I feel it. It's around my lower belly, maybe my back. It comes in. I feel it more like pressure, a little bit warmth. For everyone, it could be different. And it's like, there's no label, pain, bad, good. I want it. I don't want it. I want to fix it immediately. It's like you're just going wave after wave. When the labor becomes more, for example, active labor, sensation become really much more intense, right? You're in the midst of it, basically. Another strategy would be to learn to shift your attention, actually, from that moment, from that space that feels the sensation of contraction rising, to, let's say, the part of your body that has no pain at all, your feet, your hands, your forehead. And all of a sudden, you get this idea that, sometimes when you have a toothache, and it feels like you are the pain, and pain is you, and everything is just hurts, and you don't want
Mm-hmm.
it. So when you have this strategy of shifting your attention to the part of your body that feels absolutely normal, fine, it's like, okay, I can travel there when my sensation
Mm-hmm.
increases and then subsides. Sometimes I can even bring my attention completely into the sound of the music or the smell of the essential oil. And so now I can manage it a little bit. And also what I learned is that the contraction usually lasts, a minute? And out of those minutes, a minute is roughly about 5 to 7 breaths.
Mm-hmm.
And out of those 5 to 7 breaths, maybe one breath will be the most
Yeah.
intense one.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, I can handle one breath, just one breath. And then I go, and then it comes back to stillness. So again, depending on what's her concern, we can talk about this. We can practice it with ice. It's a very good one. You put a block of ice. We were doing this with with a midwife center recently with ladies there. And you hold an ice for a minute, and you can see how sensation of that cold, becomes uncomfortable for a moment, and then you get familiar with it, and so you can train this ability, this exercise on this example of ice. Or maybe she's going to be talking about emotions, and then we'll learn to navigate emotions. How do we include them in the experience rather than trying to distract ourselves from the experience of feeling scared or anxious or sad or grieving something? The end goal during this 1 or 2 or 3 sessions, be it a group or be it a one-on-one, is that you want a mother to feel, not to feel rather, but be prepared, be wiser about that she can meet the experience wherever she is. She can handle the experience, whatever it is, regardless if it's positive or neutral or even negative, because everything is going to be embraced and learned from, and decisions will be made based on that learning.
That sounds very powerful and even liberating. And I wanted to go back to something that you said about the example of the intake that you just had with this mother who didn't have anything to work on at the moment. Would you say that if you want to try and start with mindfulness, you have to wait to have something to work with, or can you because I think you mentioned that it takes training. Eh? It takes it's a skill that you learn. Can you learn in advance
put some number,
techniques,
the most common question,
or
so how long should I meditate to get some benefits? Benefit number 1 usually comes with being able to have stronger attention. Benefit number 2, I'm better with managing stress, emotions, pain. And benefit number 3 is that general self-awareness and wisdom. So generally they say that 8 weeks is the length, and roughly it's about 8 minutes where you, through the day, you have those moments where you bringing your attention, you're training the attention, but trying to bring it back to the present moment, noticing the thoughts that distract you and having the choice. Okay, I want to be here. What do I notice here? Can I stay with it? So yes, early is the better. Of course, it would be nice if she's like, I'm ready to just practice because I'm curious about it, but I'm being realistic. And I know that I am passionate about it, and I'm teaching this, I'm sharing this, this is my work. So I would love it to be earlier, but being realistic, I think the best motivation comes, and pregnant women are so motivated to work on themselves as they approach pregnancy and labor, and the motivation will be just higher on a 3rd trimester, what I see in general. So
I see.
Yeah, makes sense. It's reality.
Makes
reality.
Makes sense. Yeah, definitely. Yes. And I would love to talk actually about your practice. How do you, as a coach, help and support women who want to, women or parents actually, who want to do mindfulness? How does it
very
work?
Simple.
Working with you,
let's talk
basically.
about the group, because it's going to reflect the one-on-one session. First, you want to have a little bit of intake. Who are you? How late you're in pregnancy? What is the main source of your concern or stress or anxiety or something that you, on the surface level, what's coming up? And for someone, it can be fear of miscarriage if it's early in the pregnancy. For someone, it can be fear of pain. This is the most common ones. And the 3rd most common one would be emotions. I don't know what to do. Just tell me what to do to not feel so many ups and downs. And so this will become sort of the framework of things that we will be doing. And then there's tools. The tools would be lying between a few dimensions. So I believe that it's not only about mind, it has to be about mind and body and the breath. So we have to have 3 included. All 3 are important. The first one is the breath, right? So we will master the ability to use the breath to bring ourselves into that state where we can actually do something with our mind. If you're over anxious, you're all over the place, you can't really even listen to me. So I'll ask you to do something that you will feel, okay, present, calm. Physiological sigh, the most easy one, scientifically supported and approved.
Mm-hmm.
2 inhales followed by exhale. Yeah, the Huberman Lab talks about it nonstop, and more often I use this one in to begin any practice, any yoga class, if I teach prenatal yoga, or any one-on-one session or any group. Then we will talk about the body, and sometimes just body scan can be one of things, bringing your attention to different parts of the body, just feeling it. Like, can you feel your foot right now? Okay, now try to feel it. Yeah. Yeah, so you just be bringing that attention to different parts of your body.
Because I'm a bit cold.
Okay, that's my foot, that's my knee, that's my pelvis, that's my belly, and okay, and seeing how that, what maybe some thoughts may arise as you doing the body scan, but you're embodying yourself, or using the gentle movement, prenatal movement, or depending where the woman is, prenatal, postnatal, or where she's in the pregnancy, but just bringing awareness of the body. And from that, we train certain strategies of the mind. If it's mindfulness of emotion, we'll go through the what's called RAIN practice, like RAIN, the one that's outside: recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. Yeah, and we have these steps of, okay, let's see what's the emotion, and now let's go through these 4 steps, so that you're much more liberated from that emotion. It doesn't haunt you. You're not wanting it to go away. It is included in your experience. And once it's included, it's included. There's, it's like, the experience becomes enriched, but also it's less scary. The fear or of the unknown, or the sadness, just a little bit of shade of that experience, but it doesn't color all the experience of your day right now. It's just, I'm also sad and excited and a little bit lonely, and both are fine. But there's the RAIN, so
and
nurture,
both are
the
fine.
last piece, the nurture. You always wrap it with the sense of kindness towards the experience of yourself. So just like I said, there's a lot of little tweaks. And I think just a little bit, like deep dive in some of those, opens up a completely different understanding of the practice, of the mindset, so that then a woman is much more curious to continue on her own, with a podcast, with a book. So I always try to give a little bit of the context, like listen to this interview, and this read this article, so that you understand that it's not just let's sit and stop thinking and struggle with not thinking, and then be upset about us that we kept thinking. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
It's very clear. Thank you so much for sharing everything. And for me, it's much more clearer now that you have explained it, what it is about. And just a practical detail, you mentioned that you can do it in groups or individually.
I'll have a few groups opening up as of New Year. And for now, I just have a few one-on-one mamas that we work on strengthening their mindset, so that they can see clearer and make decisions wiser and much more empowered way.
Fantastic. Sounds amazing. Thank you so much, Katia, for sharing all your expertise and knowledge with us. It was amazing. I loved it. So thank you so much.
Exactly.
It's time to wrap it up. So the last question I wanted to ask you, is there a key message or a key advice you would like to share with parents
the one that
who are embarking into this
it's a
parenthood journey?
The neuroplasticity, the fact that our brain can change in response to experience, has been proven. It's there. It's on the paper in the most credible universities and colleges out there. The fact that your brain can change in response to experience means that you can change how you react to life events. Are you getting angry, or are you getting frustrated, or can you get a much more wiser response to situations? And all of that skills come with practice. So it's empowering to know that yes, we can change. A few years ago, I would say that we cannot change, but now I think we can, but it takes time and effort. And pregnancy and parenthood is just the perfect entry point, because motivation is huge.
That's true. Very true. I think you must have convinced a lot of
Thank you.
our audience to start with mindfulness. It was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all of
Yep.
this with us. So this live has been recorded, and we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to share it on the feed, and you can contact Katia if you have any questions. You have her page on Parentally, and you can also, of course, contact her directly on her Instagram account. I will share all the contact details in the caption.
Thank you.
Katia, again, thank you so much for doing this with me today. Really helpful, really useful, precious. And thank you, everyone who watched this live today. I'm very close to the camera. Oh my God. Sorry. Thank you, everyone who watched today. I hope you enjoyed it. I wish you a beautiful rainy day, and I hope to see you soon.
Heidi.
Follow us on Parentally for more great content. Bye.